Self-awareness, the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. With such a simple definition, self-awareness is actually quite the complex topic, especially when it comes to the contrasting approaches each individual takes. For the INFJ, self-awareness plays a major role, not only in their development, but also in how they utilize their cognitive functions. So, what are the elements to this complex topic, and how does the INFJ experience them? Welcome or welcome back, Psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it, starting with the first self-awareness element, consciousness. For the introverted, intuitive INFJ personality type, consciousness affects all they do, think, and feel out in their world. Defined as the awareness of both internal and external existence, it's fair to say that the INFJ utilizes this element of self-awareness more than the average person. With a continual analysis of concepts, patterns, results, experiences, and human behavior, there's nothing that quite catches the INFJ's attention than an opportunity to simply expand their consciousness on all things life-related. Because of this innate interest and the subconscious tendencies to back it up, the INFJ is known to be extremely self-aware. However, the level of consciousness this personality type experiences on a day-to-day basis is both a gift and a curse. Since their extroverted cognitive sensing and feeling functions make them highly aware of their surroundings, the INFJ can pick up on things that become overly distracting, distressing, and even too overwhelming to process in the moment. Acting like a sponge, they subconsciously absorb the information around them at record speeds, only to later find themselves ruminating in an attempt to sort out their internal world. Luckily, it also allows them to feel in tune with this internal world, allowing them to stay connected to their imaginative creativity and inner thoughts. Number 2. Self-knowledge. Speaking of being in tune with their inner reality and true character, INFJs experience the self-knowledge elements of self-awareness in a profound and ever-developing way. Focused on one's understanding of who they are, including their beliefs, values, and motivations, the INFJ personality type practices diving deeper into self-knowledge in the later years of life. Once the confusion and self-alienation from adolescence subsides, the INFJ is met with the challenge of expanding their self-knowledge in order to be able to appreciate and use their gifts to their advantage. While they work out the kinks of who they are and how they belong in a world where they've always felt outcast, INFJs begin questioning their beliefs, values, and motivations in order to find their way forward. Instead of following the herd, this is the element of self-awareness that helps them understand why they feel uncomfortable complying with certain norms while developing logical reasoning and self-assurance to back up their inner knowings. This is the ever-developing stage that allows the INFJ to experiment with their own capabilities without the self-pressure to do only what is expected of them. This is where the INFJ is able to play with their unique nature and ultimately discover the brilliance they hold within them. Number 3. Emotional intelligence. The third element of self-awareness is where some INFJs may struggle. With extroverted feeling as their secondary cognitive function, emotional intelligence comes with a challenge that not many other MBTI types can relate to. Defined as the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions, as well as recognize and influence the emotions of those around them, the INFJ innately masters one half of the equation. with the ability to not only easily understand both the expressed and hidden emotions of others, but also the power to internally absorb external feelings. The INFJ is known to carry an empathy like no other. Their gift to recognize and influence the emotions of those around them is uncanny. Yet, with such capacity to understand others, they do pay a price when it comes to their own emotions. In fact, they say that INFJs have a difficult time expressing their own emotions, not only because they struggle to be vulnerable, but also because they find it nearly impossible to know what they're feeling themselves. With highly logical and intuitive minds, the emotional aspect often comes as a secondary reaction in most cases, which can be frustrating to those around them as well as themselves. They can easily mistake others' emotions for their own, and may even feel emotionless and numb at times where deep feelings are expected of them. Although it's a work in progress, internal emotional intelligence will never match up to the INFJ's external emotional intelligence. Number 4. Self-acceptance. The fourth element of self-awareness is another challenging concept for the INFJ personality type. Going hand in hand with self-knowledge, self-acceptance is something that INFJs accomplish over time. In fact, once the highly self-critical INFJ thinks they've finally accepted every quirk and difference they possess, they kind of easily find themselves back at square one within the blink of an eye. With the combination of such uniqueness, the habit of overthinking, and their highly observant nature, the INFJ can feel accepted and confident one day and then incompetent and incomplete the next. The road to self-acceptance can be a bumpy one, with many twists and turns for this personality type. Yet, in the moments of getting a taste of that self-acceptance, they'll be pleasantly surprised at just how easy it is to exchange their self-sabotaging beliefs with compassion and kindness towards themselves. Luckily, through self-knowledge, genuine everlasting self-acceptance tends to trail behind. Ironically, a subtle sense of self-acceptance is required for the INFJ to step into the element of self-knowledge, and one element is impossible without the other, making it a win-win once the INFJ overcomes their self-alienating challenges. Number 5. Self-reflection. Defined as the element of self-awareness involving being able to think deeply about one's own feelings, thoughts, and goals in order to gain an even better understanding of who they are and their place in the world. Self-reflection may sound a lot like self-knowledge. However, while self-knowledge is something you obtain, self-reflection is instead something you intentionally do. Fortunately for the INFJ, self-reflection is something they do whether they like it or not. It's the ability to spectate and evaluate their own cognitive, emotional, and behavioral processes, something the INFJ is wired to do automatically at a very young age. INFJs are constantly questioning why they do things the way they do, how certain thoughts are formed, how specific imaginative ideas are sprouted, why they believe the things they believe, and the list goes on. Not only does this allow them a better understanding of self, aka self-awareness, but it also allows the INFJ to more easily learn from their mistakes while avoiding getting stuck in the past for too long. Oddly enough, self-reflection is one of the INFJ's favorite pastimes, and although the depth in which they can go with their internal world can have a rather negative notion at times, there's nothing that can stop their need for personal reflective work. And lastly, number 6, spiritual growth. The last and most controversial element of theorized self-awareness lies within our spiritual nature. INFJs are known to be more in tune with their spiritual side in comparison to some other personality types. And because of that, this element of self-awareness can come quite naturally. Rather than looking into oneself, Spiritual growth requires you to look beyond the mental and emotional aspect of the human experience. They say being born into the INFJ personality type is a spiritual experience in itself, making it difficult to avoid a spiritual awakening of some sort at one point or another. Whether it's trying on different religions, taking the teachings from all religions and making it their own, or delving into what they think spirituality is to them, the INFJ type can come to unimaginable conclusions and understandings, some so deep they wouldn't dare to share with others. Through their unique struggles, most INFJs come to a point in life where they have no choice but to turn to searching for a deeper meaning. Through this helplessness is where they're able to strengthen their faith and philosophize their motivation for life itself. And while it can be a lengthy, painful, and confusing journey, the aspect of self-awareness that awaits makes it all worth it. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, let us know in the comments below if you can relate to these 6 elements of self-awareness as an INFJ. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.